Welcome to Design by Geeks. I'm Marissa with Rissa Rocks It, and today we'll be making these 3D wings. These look complicated, but they are surprisingly easy to make. There's going to be two sizes of the file you can choose from, and I'll explain more about that in just a bit. You can also choose whether you want to make them with or without the score lines. So with the score lines, it looks like this. As you can see, there's some little bends on each feather. And if you're doing the version without the score lines, that looks like this. So there's still the layers of wings, but they're not bent in the middle. And if you are using the score lines with your Cricut machine, be sure to set those score lines in your Cricut Design Space software. If you're not sure how to do that, I'm going to put a link up in the cards that lets you know how to set your score lines in Cricut. You'll start by cutting your pieces on your machine. And you're going to cut those pieces twice, once for the left wing and once for the right wing. When you're doing your other wing, you'll just flip that horizontally in your software to do the other side. If you're doing the small size wing, there's going to be 3 pieces for each wing. There's going to be the top, middle, and bottom layer. If you're doing the large size for each wing, there's going to be 7 pieces because the 2 bottom layers, the middle and the bottom, are going to be split into 3 sections each. So that'll be 1 piece for the top on the large, 3 for the middle on the large, and 3 for the bottom on the large. And that just allows you to cut each piece out of a separate piece of paper, meaning you can make larger wings. But the assembly is essentially the same, whether you use the small or the large size. Now, if you are doing the version with the score lines like I have here, you're going to start by gently folding each feather along that line. So you're just going to take your feather and you're going to do a gentle little fold for each of the little feathers on your wing. That just gives you some nice dimension to your feathers. And you're just going to move on and do that with all the pieces of each wing. And of course, if you're doing the version without score lines, you just skip this step. Next, you're going to glue your 3 layers together, aligning them at the top. Now, if you are doing the large version, keep your pieces organized so that they stay in the right order and with their corresponding layer so that everything aligns correctly when you're gluing it together. So we're going to glue our layers together, but only at the very top. We want to leave the bottom part with the loose feathers not glued. So I've got the middle layer here, and I'm going to glue the top layer on top. And then the same for the bottom layer of feathers. And then once your glue is dry, if you want to do any additional sculpting of your wings and shaping that, you can do that. But otherwise, you just repeat the same process for your other wing. Wasn't that easy? Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye! We hope you liked this video. Please comment, like, and subscribe.